Hello guys, welcome back to the Beastie Room. As you can see, we're going to have a rehouse of another spider that's entered the Beastie Room, and this is the Ephebopus cyanognathus, the Blue Fanged Tarantula. Now this is a really pretty spider, but it is also a fossorial spider, and it's also a New World spider as well. Now as you can see, it's in this box here, and they don't burrow very deep. This is one of the fossorial spiders that really doesn't need a huge depth of soil. So what we'll do, we are going to move this one out of the way, and we are going to fill this up. Now this is a 30 by 30 by 30 Komodo, and we're going to fill it up. We're not going to bother with the clay balls in this one because she's a real proper fossorial spider. We're going to try her without, and I don't think we're going to need it, and we can maintain her humidity levels and what have you just as easy for this type of spider because it's not that delicate in that way. We'll put that in there. We'll get a bit more in there. This is just our normal potting compost that we're putting in here now. And what we're hoping to do, although these are a strictly fossorial spider, we're hoping to set this up in such a way that we actually get to see her. And we've managed this with most of our fossorial spiders. They're reasonably good, but there's still the odd one that we haven't quite cracked it, that we can get them to come out. So we're going to try it with this one. We're now going to add some of our beastie mix. This has got all the bits and pieces in it that we need, all the good stuff. Freely collected from our local woods. And we mix all that in. That's it. Smells beautiful. Really does smell nice. I wish you guys could smell it. It's really nice. Right then. So here we go. We're going to use, this is like a half cork, piece of cork, half round if you like. So it creates a really nice tunnel. So what we're going to do, we're going to place that in there like so. Actual fact, I think we'll get a bit more height up here because I think what we're going to plan on doing, we'll plan on having her up a little bit higher than the rest of the ground. Get a bit more stuff in there, a bit more stuff. Right. So what we want to try and achieve, what would be nice, is we can build it up like so. Hopefully you can see this. See what we're trying to do. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to cover the top up. Now this moss, as you can see, this moss is really dry, and I mean really dry. So we're hoping we'll give it a good spray, a bit of a salt out, and it should pick up and it'll be fine. It's the time of year. It's so dry out there at the moment. I'm going to put a piece up here. As you can see, it's really dry. And what we're hoping for is, by putting her up like this, I'm hoping she's going to sit out on this edge and we really get to see her. Now we have noticed in her box that she quite often sits in the front of her burrow. So we're going to give this a really, really good soak now. Totally drown this moss, because as we said, it's absolutely bone dry. And this is what happens this time of year when you go out collecting your moss. It's quite often really, really dry. So we bring it home and we give it a good soaking, and it will pick up. It's no different to when it rains outside. You'll see the moss will go all vibrant again. And this is basically what we're doing now. We're just raining on it. Now, these spiders do enjoy a good portion of humidity. We can leave that in there like so. And what we're looking for, we're just trying to make it as sort of rustic looking as possible. I'm going to get a bit of tissue and clean that glass off. Just bring that around. There we go. Should be able to see through there. Last thing we want to do is put her in there and then we can't see. So we give that a nice clean. We'll put our water dish down the bottom here. Now you'll see now, we quite often with our terrestrial spiders, we use these larger water bowls. They do seem to appreciate a slightly bigger bowl, and it just works out a whole lot better. The small ones are okay for the arboreal spiders, but for our terrestrials, they do seem to like these bigger ones. Right, so there we have it. A real simple, quick and easy enclosure. Now we get the fun bit. Now we get to have a look at her. Right. So what we're going to do, we're going to get our catch cup, which is here. And if you'd like to come over here, we can have a look and see this really, really pretty spider. And we've got I'm going to take this lid off. Get rid of these bits. Now, as you can see in here, what she's done is she's actually scraped up all of this soil and she's built this absolutely stunning. Such a shame to have to break this down. But these guys build a home very, very similar to a lot of the other fossorial spiders, where they basically collect up all these pieces of moss and they wrap it up in the web and they create this beautiful tunnel. Now this tunnel is silky smooth all the way inside, really, really smooth. And this enables her to run in and out at a moment's notice, really quick. So what we're going to have to do is we are going to have to try and encourage her out. Now let's see if we can see where she is. No, we can't. Right. So, I think her tunnel goes down here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little poke around in here and see if we can't see our spider. Oh, here she comes. Here she comes. Now then, we're going to have our table nice and clear, because as you can see, the entrance to her burrow is literally right in this corner. So there's a good chance she's going to come out and over the side before we even know it. So we're going to put our pot there and we're going to have a little, what we're doing now is we're poking the bottom. Here she comes. Oh, don't move, because she'll see you and she'll go straight back down. Her security is inside this tunnel. Here she is. Here she comes. Here she comes. You notice how she's slowed down now. You can just perhaps get behind. Well, there you go. Exactly what we were saying. So what we're going to do now is she's on the side of the tub. That's perfectly fine. She ain't going nowhere. You ready? So we use our catch cup over the top. And she's in. As you can see, she's a very, very pretty spider. And we didn't actually, if you look in here, it's an interesting thing here. We haven't destroyed her home. You see that? We've not destroyed her home. All we done was we looked in here, and you can see pretty much which way it goes, and we thought it'd come down here. And all we done was we poked in here like that with the paintbrush until we saw her feet coming out, and then we can literally just move her out, and then once she comes up we can get behind her. Now if we wanted to check our spider for any reason, we weren't looking at doing a rehouse, we can still get our fossorial spider out without destroying her home. Yeah, so that was a good example actually of how we can achieve this. And we could get her in here, we can have a look at her, do what we need to do, and then put her back in afterwards, and everything would be fine. Her home is still intact. So it's a nice little thing there, really. You can just see with a little bit of thought, a little bit of care, you can save yourself an awful lot of work. Well, save her a lot of work, really. Well, here she is. She's these are quite a flighty spider. If we put her down like that, is that cool?
Yeah.
Now you can see the yellow rings on the joints of her legs. Really, really pretty. You can't quite see her blue fangs because...
We got a flash when she came out of the hole, but yeah, I've not had a good look.
We can't see them at the moment, but what we're going to do is when we put her in the enclosure, we're going to try and put her in such a way that she don't disappear straight down into that burrow. And I'm hoping that with our beastie mix, she will take out the leaves and the little bits and pieces, and she will weave them all into her web, and she will make a really, really nice entrance to that tunnel. That's the plan. That's what we're hoping for. Right, so we see if we can't get her in, and we'll see what she does. Now, bearing in mind, this is the best that we've actually seen of her as well. We've not managed to see her at all either. So we're going to just very, very gently. Notice how she's hunkered down now. She's sort of, she's in a defensive sort of thing. She's literally, if she can't see us, we can't see her. And as you can see, she's holding on tight. So we're just maintaining that contact, but we're changing the pressure. So we're staying with her all the time. If we were to poke her, she wouldn't like that. So we are maintaining constant pressure and constant contact. Got that 1 foot there, that's it, we've just unhooked it. I'm going to move her around a little bit. Just take your time. She's probably going to jump when she feels that moss. That's going to feel very alien to her, and she might well react. Here we go, look at that. She is very, very pretty. Them yellow rings on them legs is just astonishing. Now, as you can see there, she's got a rather small abdomen, so we need to build her up a little bit. She's only a sub-adult. These guys get out to about 5 inches or so, so they become quite impressive females. And you see there, she can see us moving around, so she's like hunkering down just a tiny bit.
Keep going to the front if she moves. I want to get them fangs.
Well, what we can do is we can touch her at the back, and we'll just see if she opens up, just so you guys can see the fangs. She might not. We'll just try her gently. We don't want to upset her, so we're just going to see if she just moves just a tiny little bit. Here we go. We can just get her there. Remember, there's them blue fangs. Just remember, by maintaining that constant contact, we're not upsetting her. She doesn't want to show off too much, does she?
Get back in focus. Stay there a minute. That's it.
There we go. You see there, by just maintaining that constant contact, you see how you get a different reaction from your spider. Very, very different. There she goes. Look at that. Isn't she beautiful? Now we're not going to push her anymore.
No.
We're going to leave her like that. But it just hopefully gave you a quick glimpse of how these guys get their name. Very, very pretty spider. Now if we can hopefully get her to actually web down in here, then hopefully we can see her sitting out, looking out across this enclosure, and she will look absolutely splendid. Really, really nice. Now, being a New World spider, these guys do flick hairs, but they don't flick hairs off their abdomen like many of the other New World spiders. These guys have got it on their pedipalps and on their two front legs. And what they do is they flick them quickly, and they literally flick hairs like that. And that is how they do it. Now, generally speaking, these would much rather run away and disappear. They're not really going to give you any kind of aggro at all. As you can see there, she's literally hunkering down. She's out in the open, so she's literally just hunkering down, trying to become as invisible as possible, really. A wonderful, wonderful spider. So in terms of care, we're looking at a fossorial setup, as you see here. It doesn't need to be extra deep, but they do like a reasonable amount of humidity. So by giving that bit of extra depth to your soil, you will in turn make it easier to maintain that kind of humidity within the soil. And we can do that by looking at the front and the sides, and we can look at the colour of the soil. If it goes really, really light, we know it's getting dry, and we can darken it off. We get it wet, you'll see it go dark. And this is what we're looking for. It's fine if the top goes dry, but we're looking for a level of humidity within the bottom 50% of that depth, and that will keep them going just fine. Now, another good way of seeing these guys is to really, really monitor their food. Don't overfeed them. If you give them too much food, you're never ever going to see them. So monitor the food. If she comes out and starts sitting out the front here with her front legs hanging out, she's waiting for food. She's hunting. So what we do then is we leave her for a day or two like that. Let her really sit out, display herself. It will also gain in her confidence as well. She will start feeling more confident, which in turn will help us see her more. And then what we do is we feed small items. If you give her a really big roach, as an adult she will take a big roach, but if you give her a big meal, you might as well say goodbye to her for another fortnight. So we keep the sizes down small, and then that way we can monitor. So she'll have a meal, she might disappear for 3 or 4 days, then you'll see her back out again hunting. This is the behavior that we're trying to achieve. This is what we want. And it comes back to what we've said in the past about enclosure sizes. You know, we build our enclosures depending on what we want to do with our spider, and it's the same with the food. We feed them according to what we want to achieve from them. So it's a whole world of difference. It's not just a case of feed your spider every Thursday. You know, we do it how we want, by what we want to achieve. Very, very important. Well, she is an absolutely beautiful spider. Now, we said about the humidity, we're looking in the region of around about 70 to 80% humidity. In terms of temperatures, again, it's roughly the same. We're looking at the, they will go down to around about the high 60s, but then we can also go up to the mid 80s. So anywhere within that region is good. I prefer to keep these around about looking at 75 plus and they do really well. So just bear in mind they have a very broad range of temperature and humidity, but if you keep it up in the middle you won't go far wrong. Right then, well, that's a lovely new addition to the room, and hopefully in the future we can get a chance to try and pair these up and breed them. Out of interest, the female is the only one that carries the blue fangs. When they start to mature, the male loses that blue. He goes a little bit purpley, but he's not got the striking colour that the female possesses. And them gold rings around the joints are just awesome, absolutely awesome. They are stunning. Right then, well, I hope you enjoyed that. We've seen another real simple, basic enclosure that hopefully looks really pretty and hopefully will serve a purpose. And we will enjoy looking at it on the shelf. And that is the main thing. We want to enjoy our spiders and enjoy the homes that they're living in. You imagine you get far more pleasure out of something that's appealing to the eye than you will do that's something that's just bland. So that's how we look at it. Try and make them all as lovely as possible. Right then, I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, be calm, be gentle, and love your spider. And I will see you soon, guys.